Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Thanks for taking the time for you to dive into some mindfulness practice for yourself and for your students. So today's practice is called SMOG. So this is an acronym because you gotta love acronyms, and it's a great way to incorporate not only for your students but for yourself in your day-to-day life. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Before we start, I just ask you to take a nice deep breath in and out and connect to this present moment. I think sometimes on technology it can be a little hard feeling present, truly present and mindful, because technology can also be a distraction. So trying to decipher this is a time to feel together and to feel connected versus it just being a distraction. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you from 1 to 5 how you're feeling and why. 1 to 5, how you're feeling and why. 1, I'm feeling awful. To 5, I'm feeling on top of the world. And maybe asking with some curiosity, not judgment, of how you're feeling. Feel free to also to pause and write it down or talk it out loud or just keep it in your head or your heart center. And following, I want you to ask yourself, what are 5 things that I'm grateful for this exact present moment? If you're having a hard time, start with parts of your body that you're grateful for the things it can do, your hands to write, your arms to hug, your legs to move, your eyes to see, your ears to hear. You can go on and on. You can also look around you and find things, objects in your space that help you live the life that you want to live. It can be people, it can be animals, it can be places, things that bring you joy, laughter, smile. Maybe you close your eyes for a moment and just take note of that for a moment. And again, you can write it down, you can just listen to it in your mind, you can speak it out loud. You can also share this gratitude practice with someone you love. You can text them, here's my 5 things of gratitude in this moment, what are yours? All right, and from here we're going to go ahead and get right into SMOG. So SMOG, our S in SMOG stands for socializing. So this SMOG practice is to help us find more mindfulness, awareness, presence, and happiness in our day-to-day life. And so socializing is a huge part of our being. We are social beings, and it is so important to take the time to socialize. It doesn't matter if you're introverted, extrovert, there's different ways to go about socializing that can feel good to all parties. It can be as simple, again, as sending a text message, a voice memo. Those are like my favorite. But if you do have time, calling or getting together with somebody is important too, but it does not have to be an everyday thing. It's not practical to be able to get together with someone every day, but it is practical to be able to just send a nice message, an email, write a letter, leave a note for someone to make some kind of social connection. All right, the O, the M. I'm getting ahead of myself. The M is for mindfulness meditation, and again, there's so many ways to do this as well. It can be a simple deep breath that you really take the time to be aware in. It could be in your car before or after work that you just pause for a moment and do so. It can be listening to music and just closing your eyes and listening to the sounds. It can be stepping outside, which is our next, is the O, so you can incorporate those two together. But a way to find some meditative practice, mindfulness practice, there are great apps out there as well that you can use if you like those. It can set reminders and get you guys more on a routine with that. But there's also other ways that you can do it. There's so many. You just got to find your way. There's no one way fits all. It's really your journey and what works for you, time of day that works for you, the best answer to when is the best time to do this and that and this. The answer is always when you find the time, like when you'll make the time. So if that's in the morning, if that's in the night, it doesn't matter during the day, on a lunch break, on a prep, in between classes. Just find the time that it feels good and works for you, that you can be more consistent than not with it. Awesome. And then we're going to go ahead and go to the O, which is to get outside in nature. So again, it can be as simple on your prep, on a break, you just step outside, take a deep breath in, notice the sounds, notice the sensations of the weather that day. Of course, you can go for a walk, incorporate some movement, a hike, Again, those things you don't need to be doing every day, but when you can find some time to get outside, even just for a moment, it's so important. You can roll down the windows of your car and just let in the nice breeze come in your window. It really is, there's so many ways to just enjoy nature and outdoors in simple, quick, easy, free, enjoyable ways to do it. And last but not least, there is G for gratitude. My favorite. All of them are my favorite, but gratitude is definitely something that's changed my life. I incorporate it with journaling, so G can stand for gratitude and journaling. And again, just like we did at the very beginning, 5 things you're grateful for. And a time that you're feeling stressed, anxious, nervous, worried, feel out of control, just remind yourself, okay, I'm here, and then what are 5 things right now, right here and now that I'm grateful for? And it can help ground you. I started a mindfulness practice of journaling consistently about almost 2,000 entries ago, so whatever, how many days that is. And I just started writing about my day, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because there is no such thing as not having at least a good moment in a day, and to be able to kind of highlight on that. But also just, if there even is yucky things that are happening in your day, to just acknowledge them. That's okay too, it's part of your journey. And then from there, going ahead and writing down 1 thing of gratitude, 5 things of gratitude. For doing it as long as I have, I now do about 15 to 20. I just write down as many come to me, and it's such a way for me to connect to the present moment. I look forward to it every night to do it. And again, you don't have to do it at night. You can do it in the morning, do it in the middle of the day. Again, finding a time that you do it. When is it that you are going to feel that you want to be consistent with that practice is a game changer. So gratitude is so important. And again, you can get loved ones involved too. You can, with SMOG, what's so cool is you can incorporate multiple of them together. So you can, be social and do gratitude. Get someone involved that you're a consistency partner and you text each other every morning your gratitude or every night. You can also go outside and do a gratitude practice and just notice all the trees and the even if it's rocks or even if it's things that you may not have found pretty before, and maybe you can now take a different perspective into nature. So I hope that practice has helped you. So the review, S is for socializing, M is for being mindful, having a mindfulness practice, or meditation practice, O is for getting outside in nature, and G is for gratitude journal practice. So again, these things can be as simple as you want, and they can be as intricate as you want. You get to make them your own. You can combine them. I would love to hear how you go about them and share them with your students. So these are things you can do. So you can journal, have your kids journal. You can have your kids peer share, so get that socializing about their gratitude today. You can have, of course, social time. It's important for them to have that social time and social connection. And 2, getting outdoors. You can say, we're going to go outside for a moment, or on your passing period, take a second outside and just show and model these practices to your students. The 1 to 5 check-in is amazing as well. So use these tools for you, find the ones that really resonate with you, and then bring them to your students, because they're going to remember those moments that you connect with them and you give them these lifelong tools to stay mindful and present. I hope that you enjoyed that. I'll see you guys next time here on Mindfulness with Mario. Bye, everyone.